GitHub built a toolkit for it. Amazon built an entire IDE around it. Half the developer community thinks it's complete nonsense. Spec-Driven Development went from zero to the most polarizing idea in AI coding in under a year. And whether you love it or hate it, you're going to need an opinion on it. It's 2025. AI coding agents can write software faster than any human. The speed comes with a problem. An METR study found that experienced developers using AI tools were 19% slower, while believing they'd sped up by 20%. Pharos AI data from 10,000 developers showed AI increased individual task completion by 21%, but time spent reviewing pull requests shot up 91%, and bugs per developer increased 9%. The code was getting written faster. It was also getting written wrong faster. Andrei Karpathy named the pattern in early 2025 vibe coding. You prompt an AI, accept whatever it spits out, never read the diffs and pray. Works fine for throwaway prototypes. For anything you have to maintain its technical debt at machine speed. The fix is spec-driven development. The concept is simple. You write down what you want clearly in structured markdown before you let an AI write a single line of code. That spec becomes the source of truth. The AI reads it, generates code to match, and you verify the output against the spec. It's like handing a contractor blueprints instead of describing your dream kitchen over text messages at 2 a.m. Senior devs reading this have already typed the comment: requirements engineering. Open API specs since 2016, nothing new under the sun. Fair point, difference is who consumes the spec. Specs used to be for humans, now they're for AI agents, which are literal-minded pair programmers that hallucinate when confused. Writing for a human reviewer is one job. Writing for a machine that will execute autonomously is a different job. The day-to-day loop goes like this. You start with an idea. You write a high-level spec describing what the feature does, its constraints, its edge cases. The AI asks clarifying questions. Where do you store this data? What happens on timeout? What error does the user see? You answer until the ambiguity is gone. The AI generates a technical plan and breaks it into small tasks. You approve the plan. The AI implements each task. You review each diff against the spec. Tests get generated from acceptance criteria you already wrote. Done. 3 tools dominate the space right now. GitHub Spec Kit is open source, has 92,000 stars, and works with basically any AI coding agent. Amazon Kiro is a full IDE with specs baked into the interface, running on Claude under the hood. Tessl pushes the idea furthest. You literally cannot edit generated code. You update the spec and regenerate everything. Each tool takes a different position on how tightly the spec should control the code. The loudest criticism of SDD is that it's just waterfall with a markdown skin. I understand the comparison. Writing detailed requirements before coding does have the waterfall shape. The thing that breaks the comparison is iteration cost. In waterfall, changing course meant months of rework. In SDD, you edit a markdown file and the AI regenerates code in minutes. Roger Wong said it well. That's not waterfall, that's agile wearing a trench coat. The sharper criticism comes from people who've used SDD in anger. Colin Eberhardt, CTO of Scott Logic, ran a head-to-head test. Spec Kit took 33 minutes of agent time and produced 2,500 lines of markdown for 689 lines of code, needing 3.5 hours of review. His iterative approach took 8 minutes, produced 1,000 lines of code, and needed 24 minutes of review with no bugs, 10 times faster without SDD. That number is hard to wave away. There's also the spec drift problem. Birgitta Buckler, who writes about SDD for ThoughtWorks, pointed out that most SDD workflows today are spec first but vague about spec maintenance. You write a clean spec, ship the feature, then 6 months later the code has evolved and the spec is fiction. Nobody has solved this. Tessl tries by forbidding code edits. Others treat specs as disposable history. Neither answer feels right. Then there's the determinism problem. You're writing natural language instructions for a probabilistic system. Feed the same spec to the same model twice and you can get different code. A Hacker News commenter put it bluntly. You've introduced an unreliable compiler that produces different results every time it's run. Better models won't fix it. The issue is architectural. SDD pays off on greenfield projects. It pays off on cross-service migrations where you need to capture intent before regenerating code. It pays off on compliance-heavy work that demands an auditable paper trail. It pays off on complex features where ambiguity will cost you days of debugging. And it pays off on any AI session long enough that the agent might forget what it's building. It doesn't pay off everywhere. Bad fits? Small bug fixes, where Buckler called using Kiro a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Exploratory prototyping, where you can't write a spec for code you don't yet understand. Solo weekend projects where the overhead exceeds the work. Large legacy code bases, where writing a spec for existing behavior is harder than fixing the code itself. If you want to try it, the lowest friction path is GitHub Spec Kit, plus whatever AI coding agent you already use. Whether that's Claude Code, Copilot or Cursor, run the init command, write a spec for your next feature, see if the output improves. That's the experiment. My take? SDD solves a problem that exists. It also has obvious limits. The developers who get the most from the next few years will be the ones who learn when to write a spec and when to vibe code the thing. The skill that pays now is knowing what code should exist and being precise enough about it that a machine can build the thing for you. Most developers underestimate how hard that second part is.